Woods! What's up? I didn't make that noise or that voice, you did. You know you do. Okay, so topic today was like body, which this is funny because I've never done bodybuilding, but I get a decent amount of like questions on how to get bigger. And so, because like over the past year or two, like I've gotten quite a bit bigger, I suppose, without really having that as a priority. So I get a good amount of questions like, how do you get bigger? Like, I don't know, what should I do for bodybuilding work or something like that? And point that I want to make is like, you don't have to do, it's funny, like me talking about bodybuilding is kind of funny because again, it's never something that I've ever done. But it just seems like such a limited training set, like limited stimulus that gets put into the system in the sense of there's like, I don't know, most bodybuilders don't do like sprints or jumps or maybe they do, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's like, basically you have your 4 sets of 10 or you have your workup sets, your drop sets. Again, I don't kind of talk about mass, but I don't really know how bodybuilders train that much. But I'll get asked like, what do you do for hypertrophy work? And I'm like, I don't do bodybuilding stuff. Or I mean, I do some higher rep work. I do some work that would be, I guess, would be included within that, but it's not like I train for that. So I guess what am I saying? What is my point here? We're doing, one second, we're doing a combo today of beef and wild boar. So it's just like a pound of wild boar and then a pound of ground beef. Let's see how that combo works. Decide what spices we want to drizzle on top of it today. Drizzle. But I suppose my point is most of the like individuals that do bodybuilding that I see, and I might have a bias because this is kind of the nature of the content that I put out, but they're just like beat to shit. Like their body hurts, does not feel good, their joints do not feel good. They wake up every day like sore and walk around like an old man. And so I guess maybe my point is like you don't have to, even if getting bigger and putting on size and hypertrophy and like quote unquote bodybuilding is your goal, I don't think it's necessarily ideal to train the way that bodybuilders currently train. Because like every bodybuilder that I come across is just like, my body hurts and feel like shit and I can't train anymore. And again, obviously I'm biased because I really only get those who, not only those who can't train anymore, but those who are more like in that position where they've done it a lot and they've done it so long that their body's kind of like beat down. I need salt. But but my point is the way that I've trained, like, because all I can go off is, not all I can go off of, but what I'll go off of right now is my experience. And I've gotten quite a bit bigger in the past. I've gotten quite a bit bigger. For the past like 2 years. And like I said, I didn't train like a bodybuilder. It was training. What I really noticed for myself was, in regards to like size and getting bigger, is being able to tap into deeper musculature. Just in the exercises that I was doing, which for myself personally came a lot from the soloers. Just like super specific examples, like if we're in a slow lower deep push and we're pulling down into position, if you get down to that bottom position, let's say you're at a minute and a half, and you somehow have to figure out how to continue to pull, even though it doesn't look like you're moving, like the thing that moves is the muscle inside, or the tissue that's inside, right? And so it's like, if I'm here at a minute and a half, my objective is to pull for 3 minutes straight and be able to press up at the end. In order to do that, I can't like resist, but I have to pull. I have to find more of my bicep. I have to find more of my back. Like I have to find more of that tissue to like pull into deeper and like pack that more tightly. And I remember like there's a specific time where I literally felt like holy shit, like I've just tapped into tissues that I've never tapped into before, like depth of tissue, right? If you almost think about like layers, like let's say we think about your back, you have like, you know, kind of like the superficial layer, then layer. It's like these deep layers. It's like I was able to just like get into and like pull, and like keep on activating and getting into deeper and deeper levels, or layers, I should say, of tissue there. And the, like the side effect of that, at least for me, is that's where the size came from, because then I could then take and I could use that, well, like let's say I'm doing a bench. I can now like pull into that position more efficiently and then drive back out with the opposing muscles more efficiently. Like literally tapping into deeper and more tissue so I can stimulate, so I actually stimulate more. Because like you are the thing, or the individual is the thing that causes, that creates the stimulus. So what I can tap into, what I can activate is what will be stimulated to then adapt. And so if I can use more tissue, like literally deeper tissue in this case, if I can use deeper tissue, I'm going to then stimulate deeper tissue, which then causes an adaptation of deeper tissue. So I can take that into like, you know, bench, I can take it into like hyper work that I'm doing, like bicep or tricep, or like, again, this isn't really the population necessarily that I train in terms of like bodybuilders, but I think 80%, 90% of everyone's training is the same, because we're all humans, we all have the same tissue, we all have muscle, we all have ligaments, we all have tendons. Like, just because you don't need to go out and jump and sprint for your actual performance doesn't mean that we want to neglect those things that are important for that, because then we wind up with a dude who's just like, who wakes up and like can't walk because just like his ligaments are so sore and so beat up. So we want to be able to train those no matter what your actual quote-unquote performance is, and that's actually in the long run going to allow you to train harder and train longer. Or at least for me, this is what I found to be true. Need a spoon? So yeah, that's just like been my experience where it's like, even if my goal was to put on a bunch more size, which is not, but even if it was, I would still train 80% of the way that I train right now, and I would just bias that a little bit. Like I would just bias a little bit of size. Because not training in the way that I currently do just seems to like not how your body doesn't feel as good, which then puts a limit on how hard you can train and how often you can train. So yeah, that's like, just again, anyone who's asking for how to put on size, my answer would literally be like, this is my personal answer. You do not have to do this. But my personal answer would literally be like, do the base training that I do, or for myself, I would continue to do the base training that I do, and I would bias a little bit of like extra work to put on size. There's again, specifically for me with that slow lower concept of like learning to tap into deeper tissues was huge for me, because then I can freaking like, I can do that and I can use that in any exercise that I do. And so then I don't have to, it's not like, oh, I have to do like 4x12 bicep curls like Monday, Thursday, and I have to do chest biceps and tries and and I have to do back and It's like, nah, I'm gonna train my whole system because I know what today's Wednesday. Because I know how to tap into that, like I'm gonna get adaptations from that. So that's my, how many cents we got? That's my 5 cents or $2. You know, cents-wise, like I saw a quarter, someone showed me a quarter yesterday or 2 days ago. Doesn't matter. But I was like, it's crazy, because I haven't used change in a long time. I don't really, even cash I don't really use much, and I was like, I kind of forgot that change, like like quarters, dimes, pennies, like that change existed. Or what's on it, nickels? Yeah. It's because it's been so long since I've used cash. So I'll like track everything in terms of my business and expenses and stuff. Like credit cards allow me to track essentially the transfer of that, and it kind of becomes my, becomes where I can look and I can see the expenses and everything. With cash, like you literally have to keep the paper receipt. Anyways, How did I get on that? Oh, that was because I was saying that this is my 2 cents, my $5. Yeah, dog. Washing up my celery and carrots. That's what I got for y'all today. Deuces.